What is up, everybody? And welcome to another Behind the Fiends Horror Hangout for December 2021. Man, I can't believe this year is almost over with. It's been crazy, dude. It's like we got out of 2020 and we got into 2021, and just like that, it's gone, done, over with almost. Hope everybody's having a wonderful, wonderful weekend so far and had a great week. Weather's kind of crappy here in Hawaii today. It's rainy, but it's cool. It kind of feels like fall supposed to feel, especially like back home. Over here it's like constant summer, like all the time. Uh so today we're going to be watching 1984's Ghostbusters. This movie holds a special place in old John's heart because as a kid, when I got to go to the theaters and see this, and yes, I actually got to experience this in theaters. My mom took me, and she was kind of, let's say, a little apprehensive because it was called Ghostbusters. So she kind of thought it was a horror movie, but she knew of Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, and all them, of course, from Saturday Night Live. But she was scared it was going to give me nightmares and all kinds of crap. But she took me to see it, and myself, like so many others, became hooked on Ghostbusters. I mean, it became a household name, a pop culture powerhouse. Just overnight, it became something that kind of changed the game as far as like spooky horror comedy type films. And I mean, you look at it today, almost 40 years later. It's hard to believe 40 years since Ghostbusters came out back in 84. But little John was a whole 8 years old at the time. So I can really remember this, but in the 80s it exploded, dude. I mean, it was like Ghostbuster stuff everywhere. And then the next thing you know, you've got the real Ghostbusters, and which kind of was like a long toy commercial, like a lot of cartoon series were back in the 80s. But I remember that coming on every Saturday mornings on ABC. I remember just the toy line was just everywhere. It just exploded. And yeah, I mean, and now even 4 decades later, we've got Ghostbusters Afterlife, which I think came out, what, 2 weeks ago, and it's blowing up again. There's there's just certain franchises out there that just withstand the test of time. Star Wars, Star Trek, Ghostbusters, go on and on. But let me see if I can get the movie pulled up here real fast. I was running behind a little bit this morning. I want to give my father a little shout out here. He's recovering from COVID. He got COVID during Thanksgiving. So he's kind of been dealing with that. And he says it's no joke. He's been very down and out, no energy. Okay, why are you telling me I need to add an account? Give me just a second, guys. This is crazy. Oh, hate these Apple keyboards. Love the Apple desktop, but I'm not a fan of their keyboard. Come on. There it is. Yesterday we had a power outage here on the island. Pretty nasty one. Knocked the power out for about an hour. And it turned off. Of course, power goes out, turns off everything. But man, it turned off my desktop, and I forgot I had files on there that I hadn't saved. So, guys, whenever you do work on your desktop, save your files. And I lost those files because I didn't have them backed up, nor did I have them in a cloud. So, all it was the script for the Lost Boys 60 Days of Fright that I'm currently planning. And I know I promised that a few weeks ago, but like I told Michelle, which she hasn't released the episode yet, but I was a guest on Michelle Breathless Beauties, as you may know her on Instagram. I was a guest on her podcast, Sisters of the Strange, and I told her that I'm planning on making the 60 Days of Fright, and I'm going to probably rename it, but I'm going to make it more lengthy. I'm going to kind of, instead of it being 5 minutes, 4 to 5 minutes, I'm going to try to stretch it out, make it a little bit longer to go more in depth on the particular movie that I'm covering. So Lost Boys is going to kind of be the premiere for that. Now, if I can just find this damn Ghostbusters movie, because I just bought it. Go to my stuff. Yes. Why are you being... I want movies, not TV shows. There we go. So I'm going to wait here for a little bit for some people to get in here, and hopefully they will watch the movie with us. Send out a little texty text real quick. Let people know I'm on. Let's see here. Not what I wanted to do. Not what I wanted to do. Send to. See if I can get some damn people in this room. Do. Ah, Lord. Busy weekend. Well, let's sit here for a minute and chit chat. Been live for 10 minutes, and I'm not going to start this movie until the people told me that we're going to be here are here. So, yeah, like I said before, can't believe 2021's almost over with. Still kind of shitty, kind of like 2020 was. Life got a little bit more normal, I guess. Now we've got we have the Delta variant. Now we've got this Omicron variant of the coronavirus. Swear to God, it sounds like a transformer of some sort. I am Omicron. I would not, whatever. But, yeah. Well, hey, I will be right back, guys. Give me just a second. And I'm back. And I had a person for a split second. And I guess nobody wants to watch. What's up, Mandy? Just sitting here waiting for people to come in. Probably picked a bad month to try to do this with Christmas. Get this daggone mics working. There we go. A little bit better. Well, I wanted to try to start this before. I wanted to try to start this movie when I had some people in here, but I think I'm just going to go ahead and start it. Get the volume set here. And so, guys, if you want to watch this along with me, you can. And if not, then just enjoy looking at me or whatever. But without any further ado, We have 1984's Ghostbusters. Yeah, there we go. So here we go. Ghostbusters 1984. Let's see. Yeah, no, Mandy, it's gonna be one of those streams. I think I'm not gonna get that many people. Luke was supposed to be here and he no showed. Oh well. Show must go on. I still remember this library scene kind of being really the scariest part of this whole film for me. Just the ambiance of it and everything. It was like after this part, the rest of it was just kind of funny. No jump scares really or anything, but well, you hate Ghostbusters? Well, I see the H, so obviously it's not love, so it's got to be hate. Uh, Ghostbusters. Probably one of the most iconic songs in all of film. Venkman burn in hell. So supposedly there was like some obscenities that were originally painted on the door, but they removed it for the rating, I guess. So instead they just put the Venkman burn in hell to be more family friendly. Swear this movie doesn't seem like it's almost 40 years old. But I also don't feel like I should be 46 almost. So there you go. You know, it's weird. They actually used to do that back in the day when they were studying if people had some kind of telepathy or psychic abilities, they would induce shocks on them. And then even in like sanitariums, they thought a treatment option for people with like say schizophrenia and different things was like electroshock therapy. Very archaic and cruel to say the least. Is he going to touch the button? Yes, he is. So yeah, Peter Venkman was originally supposed to be played by John Belushi, but because John Belushi died, unfortunately, that never came to pass. But hey, I think this was a role that was pretty much written for Bill Murray. But could you imagine in an alternate universe, John Belushi playing Venkman? I think it would be wild. I think it's, damn it. I want to say Aykroyd wrote this like way back when he was on SNL and never really got it off the ground until around the mid 80s. But his family was very much involved in the paranormal. I think he said once that it was either his grandfather or his father actually used to have seances on the weekend at their house and stuff. Well, my cat just scared me in her litter box. I was like, what is that? Scratching. See, 8 o'clock. There's not a lot of movies from the 80s that hold up, but this one still does. But it's hard to see a world where we didn't have cell phones and the internet and typewriters were everywhere. And people still read books. Harold Ramis. Man, he died way too young. A lot of people might not know this, but he was a writer for Caddyshack, Stripes. I think he might have been involved with Second City out of Chicago and SNL, I believe. What do you mean? What happened, Luke? Hey, there's Dragon's Lair, Mr. Luke. Finally. Being all late and shit. Woot woot. Yep, woot woot. Hey, Luke. In the Target. Oh, you're at Target in the parking lot? You should be here sitting next to me doing this shit. This reminds me of the book stacking of 1835 or some shit Ray said. Ooh, look at all the jizz. Ectoplasm. You know, that word I don't think actually existed until this movie came out. The word ectoplasm. I don't think. Let me see. Never did understand Bill Murray's love hate relationship with this movie. or this franchise in general. I mean, it kind of put him on the freaking map outside of Groundhog Day and Scrooged. I haven't yet got to go see the new Ghostbusters Afterlife, though. I want to go see it. I'm kind of a cheapskate, so I'm going to probably wait until it comes out on streaming service. Plus, I don't want Omicron COVID or Transformer COVID or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Get over here, Francis. Originally. Everybody ready? Get her. Now, as a kid, that part scared the shit out of me. Like I said, that was like the only part of this film that really scared me. And then after that, it was get her. God, I remember the old Nestle Crunch bars like that. That old wrapper. You used to get all your candy from the man that lived behind Circle K. What the fuck? How'd that work out for you there, Lucas? I don't know what kind of liquor that is they're drinking, but obviously it ain't top shelf. Always delicious. Oh, I bet it was. What'd you have to do for it? God, $95,000 was a lot of money in the 80s, and now it's not shit. So because Ray is the one paying for it, he just wants it for the pole dance. What is this? Luke said you had to pretend to be a trash ghost. I thought maybe you had to like touch him in a place or something. Get that Hershey kiss. Hey, Michelle. El Presidente is in the house. Probably should have started this stream probably at 2. I know it started out for about the first 10 minutes really, really slow, but I'm bad at talking to myself. So obviously I'm not crazy, I guess. Woot woot. Yeah, I enjoy doing them every month. Gives me a chance to just sit, watch a movie, and chit chat with y'all. Good old Rick Moranis. Lewis Tully. Kind of reminds me of some of those guys that come in your shop there, Luke. Old Lewis. I always had a hard time trying to accept Sigourney Weaver as kind of a damsel in distress type in this movie after I had watched Alien, where she basically fought this alien cockroach and kicked its ass. And then in this movie, somehow she's like a damsel in distress. I didn't get that. She did a good job at it. Luke, we really need to do like a Ghostbusters video, like a ad. Need to order some of them proton packs for the shop. Stay Puff Marshmallows. I've always wanted to know how they did this effect. The eggs popping and cooking on the counter. I mean, did they put like a heat source under the counter? But Then you had that old school microwave. Anybody ever notice in the 80s everything had a wood grain to it? Like fucking Atari had a wood grain, TVs, everything had like this sticker shit all over it that made it look like it was made out of wood. There's the Terror Dog. Ecto 1. An old meat wagon. Janine. Wow, look at that old Apple computer. Whew. I remember I used to play Oregon Trail on ours at school all the time. You'd answer math questions to advance the story, and then it'd be like, well, little Timmy's got dysentery. Well, little Timmy died. What's 2 plus 2? I collect spores, molds, and fungus. Oh, Michelle, congratulations on hitting that 1,000 mark on your podcast. If you guys haven't yet listened, Michelle has a podcast called Sisters of the Strange. And like I said earlier in the beginning of this live stream, I was a guest on it 2 weeks ago. But that episode's not up yet, but it will be soon, hopefully. But yeah, Michelle's even got an episode that just launched last week where you got EVPs in your dial room or whatever. So in 2 weeks, you'll be able to hear my sexy Southern accent on her podcast. Oh, so you launched that episode today with the EVPs. I'm gonna have to listen to that. I've got Iron City Paranormal coming on next weekend. I'm gonna try to see if I can get them to maybe get on here and live stream it so I can put it up as a podcast and on YouTube as well. Maybe get them to play some of their EVPs that they've had. I know they've got a bunch from the Gettysburg battlefield. I didn't notice, but you can actually buy a Tobin Spirit Guide on Amazon. There you go, Bezos. Yeah, hopefully I can get them to share some of that evidence. I'd like to get one of those mediums on, those people that got the sixth sense where they can actually talk to the dead. What was that guy that used to do that? Who was on TV, but then he kind of got found out as being kind of a scam artist. God, what was his name? It'll come to me in a minute. But he used to bring people on and be like, yeah, your grandmama's standing right there behind you. Got her hand on your shoulder. She's talking to you, saying she's proud of you. Yep, John Edwards. That was it. What was it called? Crossing Over with John Edwards or something like that. But I know he kind of got. I don't know. Was he? If he was credible, I mean, he did kind of destroy his reputation a little bit because I think he got found out that it was kind of like with his ghost hunters. Some of those ghost hunters at first they start out real credible, but because their ratings start to slip, they start staging evidence to kind of keep the ratings up so the TV companies will be happy. Because I know Taps, I used to love watching Ghost Hunters and Taps like Jason and Grant and all them guys. They were really credible, and then all of a sudden, people that used to work for them, I guess, kind of got jaded. So they just kind of went out and started being whistleblowers, like, yeah, it's bullshit. They staged that, they staged this. And then there was an episode they did where like me with my hoodie on, Grant had a hoodie on, and it literally like if you can see it like pulled out like that, so you could literally tell there was a string hooked on it. And they aired that and everybody just was like, that's bullshit. And then I think they kind of came out and said, yeah, we stage stuff sometimes to just kind of make the episodes more exciting and not be boring. So when you do something like that, it instantly discredits you. But no, not only does it discredit you, but other paranormal investigators as well. Should have done less episodes to keep real stuff and leave out. Yeah, I loved them too early on, but they just kind of got away from what brought them to the dance, and a lot of that stuff just started to become. Even though their reactions to things were kind of like such bad acting. Like I've seen better acting in toothpaste commercials, for God's sake. It was like, oh, I heard a noise. It was a small girl. Instead of like, oh shit, there's a dead girl over there talking. You know, oh, somebody turned the water hose on out back. Uh-oh. First job. I want a pinball machine. But sadly, I live in a small apartment and it wouldn't fit. Our first time seeing Ecto 1. God, I used to have that toy. I played with that damn thing all the time. Our first time seeing them in their uniforms. Or exterminator. Somebody saw a cockroach. God, people used to be able to smoke inside buildings and shit. I love how they never tested their equipment. They're just in the elevator like, yeah, well, let's see. Switch me on. That's one of my favorite parts. Old lady, what the hell are you doing? And we get introduced to Slimer, the big green booger. God damn. Right here, Ray. It's looking at me. I don't know where the old VP is today. I guess he decided to go Splitsville. He slimed me. So Slimer was originally called the Onion Head Ghost. Huh. Didn't know that. If you watch on Amazon, every now and then they'll put some little tidbits up. Don't cross the streams. Total protonic reversal. So you're watching on AMC and it's got commercials. I didn't know AMC even had Ghostbusters streaming. Damn, wish I'd kind of knowed that now. I wouldn't have had to have bought it digitally because I already owned it on physical. Yeah, I've always wanted to try that too. Try to pull the tablecloth off a table without the plates and everything going into the floor. So what kind of commercials do you have? Like some Geico, some other insurance commercials? Hey, hey. We came, we saw, we kicked its ass. $4,000, but they did probably hundreds of thousands of dollars in damage to the hotel. Medication insurance mostly. Yeah, I like those medicine commercials that come on and go, "You have toe fungus? Well, take this medicine right here, and but be warned, it could cause your liver to fail, but it'll get rid of the toe fungus. See your doctor now. See if it's right for you." God, Larry King. Oh shit, I remember Omni magazine. That was like for all the new Oh, like all the new technology that it came out. It's Casey Kasem. All across the country, the Ghostbusters are at it again, this time in a fanciful dance club, the Rose. Side effect warnings make a girl never want to go to the doctor for anything. Yeah, exactly. There's the man, Ernie Hudson, Winston Zedmore. It's funny with him, out of all the people that pretty much played in this movie, they were all like comedy actors, and he was more of a classically trained actor. Ernie Hudson. He was always one of my favorite out of all the Ghostbusters. He was the more grounded one. Yeah, he calls external bleeding. So here's this for acid reflux. Oh, we forgot to tell you, might cause heart attack or stroke. God, 80s fashion was so cringe. There he is, Johnny Tardis, flying in. Also known as Bebop on IG. I'm still waiting to get those power rings, i.e., those Dakota rings, compass rings, whatever you want to call them. They haven't quite come in yet. Ghostbusters, what do you want? So now you've got Walmart, beer, Hallmark Channel Christmas movie commercials. Sounds like they all should just kind of just flows together. Thought I heard the fire trucks. Man, they've been busy today. Sorry if y'all can hear that, guys. Weather's been really shitty over here since yesterday, so people don't know how to drive in the rain. Which I work at a body shop, so it's good for me because unfortunately, that's how I make my money is off of people getting in car accidents. I don't want them to get hurt, though. Listen, I'll be honest there. I don't want nobody to get hurt. But your fender benders kind of put money in my pocket. Allstate just buying up all that ad space, huh? Yeah, we've just had it's been weird. Like I said earlier before you all jumped on here, it's real cold over here, which not used to. Weather took a turn, oh, right, Thursday night. And then it was cloudy all day and rainy yesterday, and then cloudy all day today and rainy. I mean, I've liked the cool air. Kind of feels like back home a little bit, but not a big fan of all the rain. The old terror dogs. So the terror dogs that come to life were actual statue designs from an old church in Philadelphia. Yeah, well, you you live in New York State. It's supposed to be cold there. I'm in Hawaii, where it's like summer all the freaking time here. My current time stamp is, let's see, 50 minutes. That's why I say I probably should have just held off on the stream until everybody really got in here, but I was just dragging on and kind of running out of stuff to talk about. So I was like, I just got to start the movie. No, this part was creepy too. Remember I said earlier the library scene was scary to me. This part was kind of creepy too. When you'd see the hands and the faces kind of pushing against the door. Hey, what's up, Jazz? How's your shoulder feeling? Missed you at the shop. They've had poor Josh there trying to hold everything down with old Uncle Phil. Shell, it's not gonna it's not gonna let you skip them commercials. It ain't YouTube. So you're gonna watch these ads. That's why I hate Hulu too. I shouldn't laugh. I can't dance either. I'd be doing just like Lewis. She goes, "Ooh, you don't need surgery on your shoulder, do you, Jazz?" God, one of them yuppie restaurants. Which, Michelle, you being from New York, I'm sure those kind of restaurants are all over the city. I'm sure there's 5-star yuppie places where they lock the door and don't let you in unless you're rich. Well, hopefully you don't have to have shoulder surgery. My dad's had that a few times, and it seems like every time he gets the surgery, his shoulder just gets worse. But then again, it is VA doctors. I shouldn't talk bad about the VA. Are you the key master? Are you the key master? The Destructor. Do you want this body? Oh, so Central New York don't have a whole lot of those, huh? Up in Syracuse. So I don't know if anybody's ever spotted this goof before, but in Dana's bedroom, if you look out the window at one point, it's like nighttime, and then if you look again, it's daytime. Trying to see. It's normally at around 58. Maybe I missed it already, but yeah, you see out the window, it's like daytime and then nighttime. Rick Moranis was such a good actor, comedy wise, especially when you watch Spaceballs as Darth Helmet. Smoke them if you got them. Yes, have some. There's actually a really good podcast that's based around Ghostbusters called Yes, Have Some. If any of you guys have ever been interested in a Ghostbusters themed podcast. They actually just interviewed Jason Reitman, I think, who is the son of Ivan Reitman, which just directed the Ghostbusters Afterlife movie. And what amazes me is just how much lore has been built around this franchise. Like backstories and all that stuff. It's kind of amazing. Good God, 300 cc's of Thorazine. Woo! It's one of my favorite scenes in the movie where Winston and Ray are just driving around the city patrolling. They get into some very deep conversation about the end times. Funny, still see the World Trade Centers. Uh-oh. The heat. Does Con Edison still exist in New York State, Michelle? I know they were like the big power supplier back in the day because I used to see their logo a lot, and then they were always in a lot of the movies. Oh, so it's National Grid now. I love New Yorkers. They don't sugarcoat nothing. I mean, like this little discussion group with New York Giant fans. And you could probably tell this season, if you follow football, we haven't had much to cheer about. And, buddy, whew, some of those guys are from New York City, and they tell you exactly how they feel. There's a lot of profanities. God, them old cop cars, old Chryslers. Soundtrack for this movie so good. I gotta go on Amazon sometime and get this Tobin Spirit Guide. It's just a lot of the ghosts and stuff from the Ghostbusters universe. Oh shit. Reginald Vale Johnson. I forgot he was in this. He was in that show, oh God. Back in the 80s on the TGIF on ABC with Urkel. Then I do that. God, what was the name of that show? Came on right after Full House. Family Matters. There you go. He was also the cop in Die Hard that talked to Bruce Willis. Poor guy got typecast as a New York City police officer or a Chicago police officer. Yep, Family Matters. Sorry, guys, just texting my father back real quick. Sorry about that. That was rude. Like I said, my dad's been sick, so I've been trying to keep up with him. He's supposed to be getting some kind of like COVID infusion. I guess that's where they boost your immune system with some with an IV with like vitamins or something. Mass hysteria. Oh, you got your booster 2 days ago? I still got to go get mine. I just keep forgetting. Because I guess they finally came out and said that the actual vaccine was only good, what was it, for like 90 days? That it was like at its strongest for 90 days. Maybe I'm misquoting that, but my dad, unfortunately, he can't take the damn thing because of his heart condition that he has, and he just got over pneumonia. And not to put too much personal stuff out there, because I hate when guys do that on live streams or YouTube, but I guess they can't give him the vaccine because of his heart thing he's got going on. We got guys around here in Hawaii that stand out on the streets like that with those signs that says Jesus is coming, repent and save your soul. There's one guy here in Waipahu that does that. He stands out on the side of the road, that big old sign thing hanging over his front and back with a damn megaphone. It's like almost every weekend. No, luckily Daddy's not in the hospital, thank God. So he's at home, but he ain't got no energy. He said that he was one of those ones that was like, "Oh, this can't be that bad." And he's like, "Yeah, it's pretty bad." He was like, "There's just saps all the energy out of your body." And then the whole thing of he can't taste or smell anything, which is killing him. Because my father is a big coffee guy and he gets mad now because he can't taste his coffee. So I know that's just such a minuscule thing to be upset about, but to him, it's a big deal. This earthquake scene right here, I hate to know how much of the budget went into this. I'm pretty sure they spent a lot of money. Which, of course, was on a soundstage, I'm sure, at Columbia Pictures. Yeah, I want a house that just smells like a Starbucks. I know that sounds so stupid, but it's true. I love to go into Starbucks, just the way it smells in all of them. Holy shit, that's a lot of stairs. Anybody that grew up in the 80s like moi, any of y'all have the old Ghostbusters game? I think it was either on Atari or Nintendo. God, that game was so fucking bad. And they had that stairs. Oh, no worries, Mandy. Thank you for being on here with us. Hope you have a good night. Yeah, they had a stairs level, and you had to just on the D pad, you had to constantly sit there and do like that just to climb the steps. God, that game was terrible. Now I got the one that they did back in 2010 for the Xbox. I still got that one. That's actually a pretty good game, and I'm not the biggest gamer in the world, but I enjoy playing that one because it actually has all the actors' voices and likenesses in it. Yeah, that apartment's pretty screwed. That's actually a painted backdrop with the stage built into it. First time I ever seen that, I think, was from Alien when they did that. They painted on glass and then they kind of incorporate the sound stage, which they can do it with computers now. But back in the day when you didn't have that technology, yeah, I had ET for the Atari. And if I still had an Atari today, I would still own that game just for the fact that it was the worst game of the 80s, but I always played it because I was always bound and determined to somehow get that little turd home. I can't talk bad about Reese's Pieces. I could sit down and eat a whole damn bag of Reese's Pieces. John here loves him some Reese Cups and Reese Pieces. I'll sell World Secrets for a Reese Cup. Slavitsa, what was her name? Slavitsa Javan. I think she was a model, one that plays Gozer. I ain't gonna lie, I always thought she was super hot. Goddamn Ray reading her the Miranda rights, basically. No. Die. So did you guys know that Gozer originally in the script was going to be played by Paul Rubens, Mr. Pee Wee Herman? It's a big change, huh? Went from this basically Slovakian or whatever she is model, went away from, I should say, Pee Wee Herman to this beautiful model. Could you imagine Pee Wee? Uh huh. Uh huh. You were God. I'm rubber, you're glue. What bounces off me sticks to you. You can listen to Bill Murray. Say you close your eyes, you listen to Bill Murray, it sounds like Garfield. Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad they switched that up too. Been real little weird to have Pee Wee Herman up there being the main baddie. I don't know if I would have been able to took him serious. How's he going to come out with Cowboy Curtis and Cherry? Ray did. He chose. Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. I think this movie actually pissed off Kraft Foods because they make marshmallows and marshmallow fluff, and I think the fact that they portrayed the marshmallow guy as being evil, I think it bothered them. It's like, so what are you saying? Our product is evil and bad or something? I want to say that was something that came out that Kraft or Campfire marshmallows, whoever owns that brand, got a little upset. I think they actually did offer it to Eddie Murphy, but he was so busy because in the 80s, Eddie Murphy was everywhere, especially once he left SNL in the early 80s. But I'm glad that they went with Ernie Hudson. I think Eddie, not meaning to, would have taken away from Bill Murray, Harold Ramis, and Dan Aykroyd's performances. I think he would have overshadowed them, and not, like I said, not meaning to. So the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man suit costed $20,000 each, and they were all destroyed during the filming. Ooh. Oh, that shaving cream. I know it's supposed to be marshmallow fluff, but I'm pretty sure it's just soap, shaving cream. I think it said that they only had 3 suits. Yeah, they made 3 and they destroyed all 3 of them. So there's actually none of them exist anymore, which would have been awesome if one had have survived the filming, because I'm pretty sure it would have got put in maybe like the Smithsonian or something like that. Being this movie was such a technological advancement in the way films was shot and stuff, kind of like Star Wars was, especially with the effects. This was most definitely the most expensive comedy movie ever made. I want to see Afterlife, but I don't want to pay those movie theater prices. And Luke was showing me last night, it's freaking crazy. There's people selling the Spider-Man No Way Home tickets. They're selling them for like 10 grand on eBay, and people are buying them. 10 grand to go sit in a movie theater and see a movie. That is insane. I would never pay 10 grand for no movie unless I'm helping to make it. Like, being part of the production, directing, producing, or whatever, but just to go sit in the movie theater and watch it, hell no. It's bad enough that they almost charge you $20 just for the ticket, and then that's not even counting what, popcorn, a drink, and maybe candy, and that's probably another $20. We had a drive-in when I was in Georgia when I was stationed at Fort Stewart. The God, what was it called? Jessup Drive-In, and they always played a current film, but then they would play a classic movie afterward. But you were paying for one movie and getting two movies, and then their snack bar. It's a little building. They had a grill and all this other stuff, so you could get like fried Oreos and grilled hamburgers and hot dogs and nachos and popcorn. And for the experience, yes, it was a drive-in. Yes, you weren't seeing like the IMAX and all that stuff, but you were still spending the same amount of money but getting more bang for your buck. And I love drive-in movies. It's just a magic to them, and I wish the drive-in would come back. And I was hoping with the pandemic, it would maybe have caused a boom, and we would have gotten more drive-ins just popping up in places. And that's the end of Ghostbusters. But yeah, I mean, I was hoping with that pandemic that it would have got some drive-ins here and there. I know there was a place here, it's a water slide park called Wet and Wild. They do like a movie in the wave pool. I don't know if they've done it lately, but they were doing it. And there was a drive-in here on the island that's supposedly haunted by a female ghost with no face or headless or something. And I don't want to see that, but yeah. Well, that's the end of Ghostbusters. Hope everybody enjoyed it. Unless you've not finished watching it yet, because I know some of you, like Michelle, were a little bit behind me. But season one for the podcast is getting ready to end. My last guest will be Michelle Blasky from the movie to Third Channel, which is basically the unofficial sequel to the Halloween 3 Season of the Witch film. And going to have her on to talk about what influenced her to make this film and what got her into filmmaking. But she is going to officially be the last guest for season one. And then me and Luke are going to kind of take a little bit of maybe a 2-week break. And then we're going to launch season two right at the New Year's. And we're going to be doing things a little bit different. We're not going to be just watching movies. That was getting boring, and nothing against the films, but when you watch a bad movie consistently, or what we felt was a bad movie, because I know everybody has their own preference, but when we sit there and watch it, especially, Luke, especially, he's not as much of a movie nerd as I am. And when you watch those kind of movies over and over and over, and it takes you out of it, and it's not a good movie in your mind, it causes the content to suffer. And then we have subpar episodes or whatever. And we want to get more structure too, where we're going to just record on the weekends. We're not just going to wing it. We're not going to just say, hey, let's go record tonight, and have no kind of material whatsoever, no idea of what the episode's going to be about. Because, like I've said before in the past, when we started this thing, it was just kind of a joke for us because it was like, oh, we're bored. COVID had started, but for the longest time, we talked about doing a podcast, and it just we started doing it, and we were like, yeah, screw it, we'll just talk about whatever, and nobody's going to listen to us. And lo and behold, we got a listener base and got subscribers, and things kind of took off, and I got to meet awesome people like Michelle, for instance, and got welcomed into the radio family with the 96.6 The Wolf, and meeting, indie filmmakers like Steve Merlo and Michelle Blasky and different ones. So it's like, okay, well, maybe we need to take this more serious. And then that's when it started leading into the interviews and so forth. But it was still that unorganized chaos of, hey, we'll just show up and record. We'll just show up and record. And to me, that's not how you grow a sustainable podcast or anything sustainable, is when it's just put together chaotically. So me and Luke did some brainstorming this past week, and that's part of the reason why we didn't have much content go out, because one, it was Thanksgiving and we wanted to spend time with family and stuff, and two, we just were trying to figure out how to make this thing better, because we want it to grow, and it's not about becoming rich and famous or Joe Rogan or any of that other crap. I just want to do what I love, and what I love is this. I love audio editing, video editing. I love making content. I love meeting new people and learning what makes them tick, or what their projects are and different things. But at the same time, I feel like we need to spend the week planning out an episode, doing our research, and then when we come to record, we kind of know what's going on, and we've got it formatted and know, here you go, guys, this is what we're serving you this week, and it's not just all over the place. But we also got a green screen, so we could maybe start doing some skits and different things too, and also some little video things here and there. But anyway, like I said, it's just, season 2 is going to be the same, but not so much the same. More streamlined, more prepared, more organized, if you will, and get away from just the quantity over quality aspect. But guys, I got to get out of here. I got some things I got to do today, and again, I just want to thank everybody that joined me for another horror hangout. I'm sorry it started off a little bit slow. I probably maybe should have held off this month, considering it is Christmas time and people are shopping and people got things to do. It's holiday season and it's just chaotic. But I don't want to miss a month with this. This is always going to be here. I'm not changing this. Horror hangouts will be every month. Every first weekend of every month will be this. And if anybody's got a movie that they want to suggest to me to watch, feel free. Anybody, I don't care. And it doesn't necessarily have to be horror related. I know it's called Horror Hangout, but that's because it sounds good. It just flows. But it could be an action movie, a comedy movie. It doesn't have to necessarily be horror. But anyway, like I said, I got to get out of here. I got to go grocery shopping, and got to go do my adult things, because, like I said, I ain't rich and famous, so I ain't got no servants or butlers or anything to go shopping for me. And I apologize for all this junk in the background. I've been trying to clean my bedroom, and if I was to open this bedroom door right here, it would look terrible. There's just crap everywhere. I'm trying to go through clothes. I do it every year this time. I go through clothes, I bag them up, and I take them down and donate them to the Salvation Army and goodwill and stuff for people that are less fortunate. And because my weight fluctuates so much, it either fits me or it doesn't. But yeah, Michelle, I mean, all we can do in our little group is grow, get better. But anyway, I'm rambling on. God, I ramble so much. I apologize. But anyway, guys, I got to get out of here, and want to thank everybody that joined me. I want to thank Michelle and old Johnny Tardis and everybody that stopped in, whether you stopped in for the whole thing or if you stopped in just for a second. It's all that matters. But anyway, guys, I'm out of here. I'll see you all later. And this has been your old buddy John, and I'll see you again next time on Behind the, wait for it, Fiends. Ooh.